The views expressed in this podcast are independent to the individual and should not be a reflection of Thomas College or reflect the views of the institution.
Did someone just fart?
There is no farting allowed on our set.
Yeah, Kyle, why did you do that?
It wasn't us. He's Batman.
Keep
He can't fart.
the farts in your butt.
It's like Captain America to me.
He's Batman. Fights for Gotham. Vengeance.
Yeah.
I kind of need to fart too, and let's keep it in my butt. Hello, and welcome to part 2 of...
The Battle of the Terriers.
Exactly, that's exactly what I was going to call it.
That's what it's called on the paper. What were you going to call it?
I have no idea, that's why I didn't say anything.
Okay, anyways. Alright, you want to jump back into it?
Yep.
Alright. This next one I think is going to be controversial.
It is.
Softball versus baseball. Some people say they are the exact same thing. Are you one of those people that say that these sports are the exact same thing?
Well, let's just say only one side has bigger balls.
That's... Can you say that?
Bigger balls.
Okay. Think about it. Both sports have helmets.
How many freaking colors do I have? 3?
Yeah, you have 3. Oh, God. Alright, both sports have helmets. Even they have cages too, right? Don't they?
Yes, some of them do.
Softball. They both have balls.
One's got bigger balls than the other.
Yeah.
Slightly.
But these ones are harder, right? Because those are
No.
soft. Yes. Softballs are softer.
I learned that the hard way. These balls are not, in fact, soft.
No, they're not soft, but they're softer than a baseball.
You can get a fact
Per
check on that.
poundage, maybe, possibly. If that's the correct unit of measurement.
All right, well let's go on.
They also
Softballs are harder than baseball.
no. We need an actual scientific study on this, please. Can
We
we?
looked it up. Softballs are harder than
This is
baseball.
not
No.
a good baseball bat.
Can I see the? What's your proof?
Google. It was on Eva's phone. We looked it up. Our softballs are harder than baseball, so they
I need to have proof.
are. And they're bigger.
This is not a good baseball bat. This is a baseball bat.
It is scientifically proven that
No.
softball is harder than baseball.
Yeah, softballs are harder than baseball.
No, that said softball, the sport is harder than baseball.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah. That's what I'm
There's no like scientific proof. Anyways, so they all have the same equipment, right?
Yeah.
So it's primarily what would beat softball? How would softball beat baseball or baseball beat softball? We have somebody with a strong opinion. Why do you think softball would beat baseball?
Because the balls are bigger, they hit more surface area. And if they're relatively the same in improvements, and it's bigger.
Softballs are bigger, so they gain more momentum.
I think you can throw
And they hit
baseball
harder.
harder.
Yeah, no. I would say that. So I would argue that because of baseball is smaller, it's more
More of a
It
punch.
can travel faster because it is smaller.
more aerodynamic. Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that.
This goes back to
hit a bigger
what's
area.
deadlier, a bullet or a cannon?
Exactly.
A cannonball.
A cannonball will go right through your chest.
Mm.
So, well, I think
Depends on the bullet.
the point that Kyle's trying to get at here is that since it's bigger and it's not going to be going through your chest, the energy is going to be displaced over a larger surface area,
Mm-hmm.
so it's not going to punch as hard as a baseball would.
Are we also talking about gender? Because scientifically men are much stronger
This
than
is an
women
excellent
who
point
the
that we have
ability to
glossed
throw
over.
Yeah,
further
but
and
also-
harder.
But technically, the only thing that softball, they got bigger balls and they have more protection. Okay. But the size of the baseball team, like this is the size of the baseball team is massive. That is a huge team right there. I think they've got like 50 something. They have enough to make like full 3 teams on their.
They do. They have like, what is it, 3-4 small teams that they play against each other.
Yeah, it's wild.
And so really, all they have to do is just
Oh my! How do you not know how to draw?
punch straight through.
He doesn't know how to draw an arrow. He has yet to draw a correct arrow. We've been filming for 45 minutes, and he has yet to draw a correct arrow the first time.
Listen, I'm used to drawing them vertical. Okay, this is horizontal. It's totally different.
Draw one vertical right now.
Draw one horizontal right now. Okay. So I get that softballs are bigger and they have more protection, but I think the size of the team, they're not compared, like that's not a big enough difference to really over.
There's something very important that we've forgotten to mention so far.
What?
Does softball have a pitching machine?
Yeah, I think they both do.
They both
They both do.
Because they both have the batting cage.
Oh no! They throw in the batting cages. They don't use the.
No, they use it.
Oh, they do.
Because I was gonna say, if it's just baseball that has it, they could set up their
They both have
their
it.
pitching
I'm
machines.
assuming if one has one, the other has to.
No, I don't think necessarily. Because I've seen the baseball one, right? We've seen.
I've never
Okay,
seen
but
softball
also
with one.
baseball stuff is probably in the field house, whereas softball stuff is probably in the store in that
Area by the softball.
We can't confirm that they have
We
one.
can't confirm that they have one. They might have one.
So don't you
Let's
think
have it
though
right
that they
now.
could use the same machine for both a baseball and a softball?
No, and here's the thing: it's because baseballs are. If softball had one and baseball used it, maybe. But because baseballs are smaller,
I don't think
I don't-
I don't think there's a difference within size. You can use a soft.
It's just
There
like
is
a
a
Dr.
baseball
Dish.
pitcher.
A Dr. Dish basketball machine can use a boys ball and a girls ball.
but the
It's
thing that
like
we're
the
the thing that we're
circumference
talking.
of the hole isn't like smaller for baseballs. It's just it goes in the thing and on the and shoots out.
The thing that I'm thinking of though is that if that's the case, then we could have also said tennis can use that too.
They technically could.
But it's not tennises, so they can't use them.
Baseballs don't.
No, they don't. I'm saying.
Oh yeah, they don't. Yes, we already went through that.
I'm saying like if that's the case, then
Well, let's put it this way, all right? The advantage that baseball has is its numbers, and also they have a machine. Softball might not even have one. They might have one, which would make the more even. However, in the chance that it has this, they've got a machine gun emplacement that they can place at the front of their formation, and they've also got massive numbers as compared to softball.
So I think baseball has this.
I think baseball also has this.
I'm sorry, softball. You actually, I was actually a little surprised on how much we had to argue. Softball, you're out. Semifinal. And then
Oh, smart. All right. So, track. We're not biased at all, by the way.
so track I think is a little bit different than most sports. In the fact that baseball, a lot of the baseball guys are, I don't want to say the same build, but there's less variety than there is on track. Because track, there are basically three major groups. We have the distance runners, who are much smaller and skinnier. They might not be the fastest people, but they can keep running at a high speeds for long periods of time. So in terms of sending messages or outrunning flanks, the distance runners are good for that. Sprinters, which makes up, I want to say, almost 50% of the team. They are pretty much the normal, I want to say the standard soldier in terms of track. There's a bunch of different implements that they have, batons. They can wield javelins. I think that we have enough to. Pole vault is another thing, that the big long poles that I think they can use. We'll use jumpers and sprinters into the same category. That they are also faster than a lot of these other sports. And I think in terms of our entire sport for sprinting is based on reaction time. If you don't have a good reaction time, you're not winning at the track. So
And we train for power
and explosiveness. So I think we have better quick twitch muscles than a lot of other teams. And finally, I think we have throwers. Now, throwers are much larger members of the Thomas College community, stronger, I should say. They're usually, they're a lot bigger than...
And they can lift a lot.
They're a lot bigger than the bigger athletes on some of the other teams. So, I think they're stronger, and they also have to be really quick too. They work on explosiveness because that's how they throw their implements. And I'm not sure about you, the smallest implement is a 12-pound metal ball. We also have 16-ounce or 16-pound balls made of metal as well. We also have discs that can come flying at you, those are pretty heavy as well. We also have hammers, which is a 16-pound ball attached to a metal pole that basically you have to spin around in a circle and throw. You have weights, which are up to 35 pounds, and you spin around in a circle and you throw them. And then, we've already mentioned this, javelins. This, I think, is the major factor of the track.
It's an actual weapon of war. All of these implements are. Track is an ancient Greek sport. In the ancient Greeks, these were war games. The discus had a small handle, and all around it was razor sharp. And you'd throw it, and it hit someone, and it cut right through them. The shot put, it's a big metal ball. I don't know what else to tell you about it.
It's like a cannonball.
It's like a cannonball.
It's literally that's what track uses, because we don't get any funding.
And the javelin's just a spear that you throw.
Yeah. So, I'm going to do my best to try and... The only thing... The thing is, all of these baseball kids are equipped with bats. In a melee fight, a bat
is gonna win.
Not necessarily against. And most times, maybe we don't have enough javelins to equip everybody with a javelin.
No, but we have
a fair amount.
We have plenty of other implements too. And we have a lot of toys at our disposal, so to say. Not only with attacking. We can also set up defenses. In front of our main line, we can set up sort of a line of hurdles, and that will break the enemy attack so they can't do a full-on charge with the bats. We can keep them at bay for a minute and then move in. We also have mats that we can use.
I didn't even think of that.
And those mats are high. You can set them up as walls. You can set them up as like a tower. Maybe put some javelins on it. Some people with javelins and throw farther.
We also have the throwing circles that we can set up as blockades.
It's true.
For you guys who don't know, throwing circles are literally these giant hunks of wood that it takes probably like at least 8 of us to pick up. So the thing that I'm worried about is this thing right here. We don't have a whole lot. Now, a baseball coming at high speeds, if it hits you, we have other than the mats, like we have things to make blockades and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We have absolutely no armor. They at least have helmets, right? But we have nothing. Literally, our uniforms are a tank top. We're completely uncovered.
We're practically naked.
And so a baseball coming at you at 100 miles an hour right to the temple, that's gonna cause damage. And I know, like, I'm not saying that the baseball guys aren't fast, but like, I don't know. Like, I don't know how much sprinting and jumping is gonna really, like, compare to when people have bats and balls.
So here's what I have to say to that. All right, it can do a lot of damage, but there's only one. If you can have one of the throwers, focus on taking that piece of equipment out. It's not. It doesn't seem that sturdy. One good hit and it's done.
Another thing is too, that the throws. No, they can throw far, but they're not necessarily accurate with that.
Well, they do have to be fairly accurate though. Like it has to be in the zone.
That's true, but
and we're dealing with a lot of people, a lot of fodder. Now, what I'm suggesting is in front of the line we set up defenses, maybe even, some mats at our rear. So this way, the baseball guys have to go straight on. Now we still have these guys on the outside. So here we have pole vaulters and just the core of our fighting unit right here. They use the poles. They've got the distance. We've also have the something to slow them down so they have more time to attack them with it. At the same time, we've got some of the light throwers out here. Now, the light throwers will be able to run around. They're probably mostly going to be, using javelins. Though, while baseball is coming into the middle, these guys will be light, and so they'll be quick on their feet. They'll be able to go.
Oh my God.
So, while they're moving in, they'll be able to go around and hit them from the sides. And if contingents of baseball tries to break off, they can quickly peel away and come back to the main group. And now here I've got cross country and sprinters. Now. Or mid-distance runners, more likely. Now, they, during the middle of the battle, will be able to take a long flank around and try and hit them from behind. And
With what though? They, no offense to the cross-country guys, but they're made for distance and not really. I think the weakest the weakest baseball player can take on the average cross country runner.
Now,
I'm not saying all. I'm just saying that the odds are they're not gonna be able to do that.
now I'll admit we're fighting asymmetrical warfare here, so we can't hit them in a head-on battle because we don't have the bats, right? Now, since cross country won't be able to really take these guys on themselves, we'll send them out after they've moved in. Now, if this isn't taken out, we can send them over to try and seize it. Now, there's going to be more of them than this has, and they're going to be coming at 2 different angles, so they won't be able to take out all of them. So they ain't going to have to take out the operators. They can just try and snag it and run with it, and they won't be caught. Now, that's a pretty solid plan, and also, for the guys who get taken down by some of our long-range, heavy implements, now, I doubt that they're going to be picking up their stuff, right? The baseball guys, especially when they drop their bat and whatever. They can go back, swing to the rear, and try and pick all their loot, you know, take the implements back, take some bats back, and bring them back, you know, back to the main force and
Okay.
on our guys.
The only problem is, I think, is that baseball can be thrown more accurately than an implement. And I think that in terms of close contact, a bat is going to be more useful than a shot put or a baton. And so, in terms
We do
of,
have batons. It's a good point.
in terms of like back here, yeah, we have an advantage. I think once they start getting closer range, I think we're going to be scrambling a little bit. They're a majority of them are a lot stronger than some of our cross country guys, and they're all wielding bats. Something that us throwers or us sprinters and jumpers, we don't really have anything other than a baton.
And,
And I would much rather have a bat than a baton.
there's where you're wrong. And you see, we've got obstacles up here to slow them down, and something you haven't thought of can break up. These are also made of fiberglass. Can break off the ends of it, and they're sharp like knives. We have so many pole vaults. You can set up a perfect phalanx formation, and you can keep the baseball team at distance, and they won't be able to break through. And if you break through, well, they won't do that.
Why not? What if they break through?
Well, if they break through, you know, we'll have lighter stuff like batons and whatnot. But if you break through, it's hard to get through and be standing straight up.
I guess.
You know, because there's a wall of pole vaults, you know, all around you. And so you won't be able to really use your bat as much. You're going to be really, you know, tightly packed in, and and in the phalanx formation, you'll have guys behind the initial ones with the phalanx, and so you'll be able to take them down. And there'll be more of them ready to take on the few that get past, you know, than the ones that actually do get through.
Yeah.
And
Anything to add, guys? Anything like? I know me and Seth had a discussion about this prior to, and he thought that baseball would win. Now, I didn't have this whole war plan here.
I've been thinking about this a lot. I'm like Napoleon, honestly, except tall, very tall and handsome.
Aren't you the same height as Napoleon? Wasn't Napoleon like 5'6" like you are?
Whoa. He was 5'7". I'm 5'8", so it's,
No, you're not.
yeah, I am.
You're 5'9".
No, whoa, no.
I'll take it. I'll
No.
take it.
I'm 5'7", and he's taller than me.
He's listed on the website as 5'7".
I know, I'm 5'7". and
He
he's
was
taller.
measured by the athletic department, and he's listed as 5'7".
They didn't measure me very well. I was feeling a little down at the end. I think I slouched a little bit. You know, I don't want to show off too much.
Then maybe he's 5'8".
So,
Oh, what? 5'7".
I would say in a surprise upset,
I'd say track.
baseball loses.
Did you not see my master
I
plan?
see it, but I don't think a lot of people are gonna like it.
They aren't going to like it, but guess what? The phalanx formation. Now, Alexander the Great took a very small city-state of Macedon in Greece, and he conquered all of Greece, Turkey, Middle East, Egypt, all the way into Iran and into Afghanistan and to the edge of India using the phalanx formation. We literally cannot lose with the phalanx formation. It is impossible to defeat. All right, I'm going to be honest. This is going to be a real tough one.
Listen, there's something that we don't have.
We don't have pointy toes or pointy feet.
Knife feet.
Knife feet.
Knife feet.
Knife feet.
Knife feet.
It's knife feet.
Listen.
Knives on your feet.
Knife feet. Knife feet.
Knife feet.
Knife feet. Knife feet.
All right.
Knife feet.
Would you rather have a knife or a javelin?
See that? This is what I'm thinking, right? My formation that I had. Who did we have hockey go up against?
Lacrosse.
Lacrosse. Okay. So they had a defensive formation where they all had their knives sticking out. You know, unpenetrable force. That can't happen
And this is true.
because of the javelins.
Exactly.
They have.
You know, this is actually a real defensive formation. Or usually they'd be in like a box or whatever. But that is tried and true method right there. Now we have to also consider they've got armor on. Now, whether or not a javelin can pierce that armor, I'm not sure. I assume that a well-placed one is able to. I mean, javelins were used all the way into the Iron Age. And these things aren't made of iron. They're made of hard plastic. So, now I don't think it'll be easy, but I still think that a javelin has the ability to take these guys out. Now, the hammers and the shot puts, we got a lot of those, indoor and outdoor. And, they're still heavy no matter what way you put them. We also got medicine balls, but we don't really use that for meats, so I don't know if we should count those. Because medicine balls are another throwing implement that we use, and those, let me tell you, catching a medicine ball.
Oh, but
easy.
Here's another thing. It's one word. Zamboni.
They don't use that during a game. They don't use that. It's like a janitor uses it.
That is true. That'd be like us saying that we get a rototiller because people use them for like doing the long jump sometime. Or shovels. I mean, shovels are pretty good.
Rakes.
Rakes. Oh my god.
So no Zamboni?
No Zamboni.
I kind of want to put the Zamboni in. Let's put the Zamboni in. We put the Zamboni in. We get shovels. We get rakes.
Is that what a Zamboni looks like?
No. It's just like a big rectangle, right?
It has a little. Yeah, like.
It's got wheels too.
So. I don't know how well they move on non-ice things.
They're slow.
They can actually create ice to benefit them. If we're talking in the ideal world, they can put their Zamboni can put them on a place.
No, because
where
it spews out water, and then the water freezes when it comes in contact with the other ice.
But what if we're on a cold, winter morning?
All right. Well, then they don't have access to their knife feet because it's on their feet. So it'd be better. They don't. Let's not mess around with ice.
So how are you taking down a Zamboni here?
You have to take out the operator, and you try and take out the operator and seize it. It's not easy.
Yeah.
Now, we're gonna have to get rid of this because they're not gonna be in a defensive formation like that. They're gonna try to assault us. Now, I don't think they're gonna be using the Zamboni's slow,
So
and so it's not really gonna take anyone out. However, it is an unstoppable force.
Mm-hmm.
They put that.
This is an immovable object too.
Now, yeah, let's get rid of this. Now, if I were them, what I would suggest is taking the Zamboni and putting it straight through the frontal defense. Now, this is like a battering ram coming up to the castle walls. I think the track team will have to take a much more defensive position in this case. Now, they'll have their lines, behind them and backing them up. Now, we won't be able to run out like we did last time. We'd have to stay more in one area. Now, I think the throwers, our light throwers that we have, are still going to be vital here. Now, we're going to be in a defensive formation. Very defensive, but we can still practice some sorties. We take these guys. We take our light javelins, our javelin throwers, and we go out and we take out the Zamboni. Now, how we do that is we keep taking out the operator.
Yeah.
And
their operator can be infinite though. Not infinite, but it's still finite, but a hockey player can jump back in. So we would have to take control over those Zamboni.
We either take control of the Zamboni, which would be hard because we'd have our back to the enemies. Now,
we could probably send a distance runner.
You know what we could do?
What?
We could take out their tires. We take out the tires, it won't be able to move.
But we wouldn't be able to use the Zamboni against them.
We wouldn't be, but that's also their battering ram.
This also assumes that Zambonis can, like, how well can Zambonis, because this is on a field, right?
Mm-hmm.
How well Zambonis are they, like, on grass? I don't know. Can we fact check this? Are they like an actual vehicle?
Can Zambonis drive on grass?
So that's a valid question, I think, and then we have to ask. Is it going to be
Yes.
useful? They can?
They can.
Okay, so it is useful to them.
It is
So they have a vehicle.
So basically, we have to find a way to disable it. Oh my god. I didn't realize. Take off the operator, steal the keys.
We could send a distance runner to go.
Yeah, and the distance runners would be accompanying them, and they.
Or sprinters. Sprinters would probably work better for them.
Well, when they're further back, we want to use our distance.
Yeah.
Because the distance will be able to, But if they get closer, we can deploy the sprinters. Now, if we're able to manage that, we'll still have a pretty strong defensive line, especially with the phalanx formation. However, knife feet.
Knife feet!
Knife feet.
Knife
Plus,
feet!
they've got armor. Now, if they put their goalies in front, the most heavily armored of them all, they might be able to get past our phalanxes using their armor, and if they're able to get past the phalanxes with the armor, then they can just start going crazy with their knife feet. This is what skates look like, aka knife feet.
Knife feet!
Knife feet.
knife feet anymore. If you put them on your hands,
They're knife feet.
knife
Yeah.
hands. Well, here's the thing. If they have both their knife hands on, knife feet, right?
Mm-hmm.
How are they holding? How are they holding the sticks? Right.
Well, they can't. I don't know. It's an excellent question. They could have some people with knife feet and some people with sticks. Now, here's the question. I mean, we've got the tactics in. We know what each group is going to do, but who's going to win? Is the phalanx with the hurdle and pole vault, mat wall? Is that going to hold, or is the knife feet going to prevail? Are they going to be able to break through?
Knife feet. Knife feet.
You know what? I think we should leave this up to the audience. Comment who you think would win.
Knife feet. Knife feet.
Phalanx formation.
Knife feet.
Phalanx formation.
Knife feet.
Definitely phalanx formation. But
Let us know in the comments.
like, subscribe.
Oh, welcome to the Bone Zone. We've been trying to get this off the ground forever. Oh my god.
How
This
many
is
bonus episodes have we made?
we've only made this one, and then we have a bag-filled one too, so you guys are gonna get that.
Yeah.
But we filmed that months ago. We filmed that forever ago.
Yeah.
But hope you guys enjoyed. They're supposed to be smaller episodes.
It'll be broken up a little.
Well, we can make this a part 2, right? We
Yeah.
have to. Okay. But anyways, make sure you subscribe to some of the other shows here on TCTV. We're really proud to be a part of TCTV in the Thomas College community. Another thing is too, I want you guys to check out, if you liked what you saw here, check out our main channel, Only Right Answers, on YouTube. Check us on Instagram as well, both TCTV and Only Right Answers. We have a TikTok as well. And we just have some fun, argue about some dumb things that, nobody really cares about, but we ask the important questions. And
We ask
answer
the important questions so you don't have to even think about it.
Exactly. So yeah, is that a podcast?
Yeah.